Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, February 4th, 2019. Happy Monday, everyone. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. At the moment, we have a very narrow range again. Inside day from Friday's session. Right now, a range of just 11.25 points on the ES for overnight action. We have 30% of average range. The volatility has dropped significantly over the past couple of weeks compared to what it had been, and you can see here just overnight trading here inside Friday's range, a 2-day narrow range after a rally here. Both of these days are trading up here near the previous month's high and close, and again, that's going to be a very clear zone to watch here for early signs of rejection. This market again has been very bullish. The up move has been strong. It's recaptured the 25.29. It's retested the 27.0375s. Again, it would not be out of the norm for this to see some sort of pullback into the pivot range here for the month, and then to see an attempt to continue the up move toward 2800. So again, how far do we pull back, if any? If we do, I think testing somewhere, 2650 would be an easy test. 2600 might be a stronger test of that pullback. But again, after a big move up like that, the tendency here lately has been to go sideways, maybe pull back a day or two, and then trend higher again. Here's a 2-day pullback and continue. You have some sideways here, a couple 1-day pullbacks. So right now, this market very, very quiet at the moment. Narrow 2-day range. It's building energy, and it's getting ready for the next directional push. Here's a look at the NQ. You'll see right here, NQ looks very similar. Again, a very narrow range today. Inside the previous range, 38 points, 31% of average. It's been averaging about 120 plus points per day. Right now, trading 38. So again, very narrow. 3-day range. Look at the 3-day range here. Double inside 3-day range. You don't usually stay like that the entire session, but if you do, it opens up a major breakout opportunity in the upcoming day. Again, today's market not quite in, but if you look down here at, say, a 3-day range of the developing range here, you'll see very, very narrow down here. Barely registers 101 points on a 3-day basis. The last time it was 103 points was back here on this narrow day. 3-day range, and eventually we got expansion to the upside after a failed breakdown. So again, very narrow 3-day range basis here. We could be looking at a false breakout one way or another, followed by a directional move over the next 3 to 5 days. So again, keep an eye on this one. If you take a look at crude oil, you'll notice here with crude oil, this one has been bullish as well. Very, very strong. It's been following along with the ES and the NQ, and even here recently, when it looked like maybe this thing was going to reject prices around 55s, Friday's market failed new low and then pushed through that midpoint, pushed through to new highs. Here's the previous month's high right there, closed right on it, rejection tail above it, open right on it, rejection tail developing above it, and they were pulling back. So you can clearly see these 55s very important, previous month's high very important, and price still trading in an uptrend toward that level. Again, if this market's going to continue higher, it wouldn't surprise me if we pull back some degree before we see a continuation attempt higher. So again, got to continue to watch previous month's highs here. Got to continue to watch the 55s as the market continues to develop around this area. Any pullback to the downside could be a great near-term move, followed by a defense that leads to more strength. Alright, lastly, let's take a look at gold futures. You'll see here with gold, this one's been a great trending market as well. Every pullback has been bought. This was a great pullback we called out here. We had another one here that we called out on this zone right there. And now what you see is price pulling back into the pivot range yet again. That's what made this one good, hitting the pivot range. This one was inside the PIMAs, away from the pivot range. But we're back into the pivot range again. The PIMAs start from here and start to drop into here. So we could see a little more weakness, perhaps even as low as 1300, and it still would be a great buying opportunity for a continuation toward 1360. We're nearly there to the target we called out last September, last October. I think even as early as August when we made that low, we were talking about the potential to see 1360, but that we would see likely 1387.60 by the end of the year. We actually got it on the first trading day of the year. And then we've continued higher within 30 handles of the target here. So again, this market continues to trend toward 1360. Any pullbacks like we're seeing now will likely be defended at some point for a continuation higher as long as price remains above 1300 in the near term. All right, that is it for now. I do want to provide one bit of news for the announcement here later on this afternoon. I will be hosting a monthly market outlook for February. I'd love for you to join me. It's open to anyone. It will be held at 3:30 p.m. Central this afternoon, so 3:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. You can join me using the Join Me link at PivotBoss, and that'll put you right into the meeting. I'll put it up here in the video as well. All right, everyone, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.